This is from the 33rdteam.com, so those are former NFL executives, by and large, personnel guys and the like. Why Xavier Worthy could move down draft boards after the Combine. Worthy tested well in Indianapolis and actually, we showed you earlier, broke the Combine 40-yard dash time at 4.21. Concerns from the weigh-in could leave more questions than answers. Measured 5'11", 165. His lack of mass packed into a sub-6-foot frame leaves plenty of questions. Mac, this is a guy that I saw play at Texas with Quinn Ewers as their quarterback. I think he's more of a football player than a track guy. I didn't get that sense with Anthony Schwartz. I thought Schwartz was more of a track guy than a football guy. I think this guy's the opposite. Do I think they're going to take him in the second round? I'm not saying that. I'm not as concerned that he's a track guy masquerading as a football player as I was with Anthony Schwartz.
Yeah, and, when I watched some of that Texas tape, it's amazing how much he jumps out at you because, again, there's a lot of times where you'll see guys with speed, and like you said with Anthony Schwartz, sometimes it's about how much speed these guys have, but how well do they play with that speed in pads? That's what I always tend to look for, when I see all of these, combine darlings that we see at the 40-yard dash. But, Xavier Worthy was one of those guys that immediately you turn on the tape and you see him go ahead and turn it to another level. And for him, especially just that stop, start, and go, the ability to go ahead and turn up those gears, he's somebody that, like you said, I'm not worried about whether or not he can actually get the job done when it comes to his speed and whether that translates. I'm not worried about that at all. I think that there are concerns about, the frame that he has. I do understand that, and I did hear that, prior to the 40, that could drop him down a little bit as well. But at the same time, again, seeing Xavier Worthy and the ability that he has with the ball in his hands, I think that, you might have some teams that are willing to overlook that. But at the same time, those concerns are still there. Again, we're somebody that as light as him, that is sub 6 feet tall at that position especially, I do think that might be a bit of a concern, but man, he is so much fun to watch on the field especially.
Yeah, the other thing was, and I was at the Combine at his podium, they asked him quite a bit about the drops, and the answer he gave, he said it's flat out concentration, and I got to get better at it. That was his answer about the high drop rate. And it's like, okay, let's see it, though.
Well, and at that point too, I respect him for giving the answer.
Yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of players will just be, we're trying to work through it. Give you the same coach speak answer that everybody expects, but at the same time, being able to see that and hear that from him, and at least the fact that he has the self-awareness to go, yeah, no, that's on me. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to work on it. I love hearing that from these guys. And I love hearing that right up front from these players. And the fact that they're willing to give that answer out, I think is really, it really says a lot about them as players especially. But I'm really, really thrilled to hear that from him, especially combine that speed and you're able to maybe lower that drop rate quite a bit, especially if it's just concentration. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can turn that up a little bit, get those big plays cranking.